Okay. I really like this book. Um, Tough time listening to the audio because after reading Jeanette's memoir and then reading this book like audio, like I just for whatever reason, like I think the character's her. I couldn't like really separate them in my mind for whatever reason. But
Okay.
other than that, I really like this book. I think it was like I think it was a great example of maybe like a Gen Z in this day and age. Just like a girl growing up in a weird place and like having all of those emotions. I feel like this was a good example of that, of those weird thoughts that you have and the things that you want and how far you're willing to get them. And I don't know, I just thought it was like a really honest and true portrayal of like girlhood, to be completely honest with you. And yes, that probably means that I am insane because she was a little bit crazy in this book, and that's fine. I will accept that, But I remember having those thoughts. Not about my teachers or anything, but just like those weird thoughts about like, am I hot? Am I this? Whatever. So I really appreciated that. I think how she all I think the way she spoke about trying to fill that void and that hole with like, oh, my cart's full, I'm buying this, I'm buying that, I'm on the internet, I'm this and this and that. I think again, like that is just like really what it feels like now too. I catch myself doing that all the time. And I'm just like, damn. Like it is fucked up to think that like that's exactly what I do when I'm in these positions where I'm just like, no, I'm unhappy or like I feel like okay, like what's going on? Like I can't put my finger on it. I'm like, oh well, let's go to Amazon or let's do this or let's shop. You know what I mean? Like all of this to say, I just think this is like an accurate portrayal of like a teenage girl or just like a girl, in general or any, this could be boys too, but whatever. Um, I did have a little bit more critical thoughts about relationships that you see like oh a teacher accused of this and this and that and well like with a teenager because 110% it was wrong on Mr. Groggy whatever but like it is like fuck like she did pursue him and like she went for it and that's kind of tough again it's wrong okay but it did make me have to think like how many of those like relationships were like perpetuated by the abuser. You know what I mean? And again, it's wrong. It doesn't matter. Mr. Groggy should have like cut it off, period. But it just made me think, like, huh, I wonder because when you're a kid and like, especially I don't know, I guess as a young woman or even a young man, you're like, oh, like that's like a hot person, like in a position of power. Like, I want to see if I can do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to see if, and in her case, she won. Um, but again, I don't know, you guys. Like, honestly, it was just like a real accurate portrayal of like like the cyclical nature of a relationship of wanting something so bad, and then when you have it, and then like the fluff and the shininess and just like the all of like you getting what you want when you couldn't have it, like wears off. And you're like, oh yeah, no, I don't want this anymore. Like don't know about this. Just like so true. Again, I've been there. I'm like, wow, I wanted this so bad, and now I'm here, and I kind of don't want it, and I feel like a bitch. But like, let's be honest. So yeah, I really can't put a coherent thought together right now because I'm really frustrated. So I'll talk more after you do.
Those were pretty coherent thoughts. I think you did all right.
And it was fast, which I really appreciated. This book was like that.
That was nice. Yes.
Oh, and like her whole mom thing too, the dynamic because I've grown up with people that have certain types of behaviors, and I do know it's because their parents not necessarily didn't love them, but didn't really pay attention to them in the manner that they needed. Like I knew so many girls growing up where like their parents were like detached, or they were like their best friends, or where they were, just kind of like doing their own thing, and maybe because they were young parents and they grew up doing questionable fucking things because they never had that like person to kind of like guide them, and not necessarily guide them, but like tell them like right from wrong or whatever. Um, and like yeah, like I said, I grew up with people like Waldo, whose parents like specifically her mother like was not there, and she ended up doing really fucked up weird shit with weird people. And I do as a child then, and even as like an adult now, and even my parents would tell me like, yeah, her mom just was not fucking there. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot about like her mom not being there. And I'm not saying like all kids ended up doing that, but I think it's just there's just something to say about that.
Cool. Does that mean you're done? Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Manel, go for it.
Okay. I really like the fact that the book was really short because if it were longer, I feel like it would have kind of lost the whole essence of it. Because the story is told from the point of view of a teenager, and like if she tried like all this flowery writing and whatnot, it would have been weird. But this was like to the point and snappy, and I appreciate that. This book made me uncomfortable though, and it wasn't even like the explicit like sex scenes or whatever. That was like whatever. Oh, it wasn't even like the way she was acting. It was more so her, like the whole shopping addiction and the whole stuff around that. I kind of hit close to home, like Julia said. So I was like, oh no, am I like this?
Oh,
Because I too have like 15 shopping carts. I haven't bought them yet, but I'm thinking about it. But yeah,
I
and
don't
the
even
whole
fully know what you guys are talking about. So this is definitely like a woman thing. I don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
remember what you're talking about, but it's interesting that it like hit so home for you guys. Like I don't even remember this
yeah.
part. That's interesting. Crazy.
That's the part that made me uncomfortable. And the whole mindless doom scrolling, I was like, oh, okay, she's onto something here. So that part just like ugh, hit me in the gut. Like I was like, okay, fine. Need to like evaluate my life choices. But no, I like the story too. It was fast and snappy. To me, her whole relationship with the teacher was like her shopping addiction. She was trying to fill the void. I think like maybe in the first few chapters, she said that she bought the stuff and she expected it to kind of change her life. It did nothing. And like towards the end of the book, like the whole relationship, she got what she wanted with him, but it did nothing. And she had to like walk away. So I was like, so it didn't really fulfill anything that she was looking to fulfill. I guess maybe it stems from her having a bad home, her mom being like that. So maybe that's why she can't really get what she wants. But yeah, it's crazy. I really like the part where he lashed out and said, "You're an adult when you know what you want, but you're a child when you don't want something." So that was like really interesting. Um, I thought like when she was first coming on to him that he was gonna like push her away. I thought that was what the story was gonna be like, where she kind of tries to get him, but he keeps pushing her away, like like a proper adult would. But no, like he gave in too, like without much
yeah,
hesitancy also. So
yeah.
yeah, it was gross on his end for sure. But like it's also interesting how he also was saying how he wasn't fulfilled in his life, so he was also trying to fill up a void with this teenager, which was obviously the wrong thing to do, but like it is what it is. He was at a point in his life where he was feeling trapped almost, I guess, and he just wanted an outlet, and that's what he got. So yeah, I really like her friend though, the Mormon friend, and her
Yeah.
whole
Mm.
analysis of her. Like, okay, that was nice. Her whole evaluation of her home, how everything is so branded, how everything is so performative at times. That was really cool. And she already mapped out that she wants 4 kids. It's so in line with what a Mormon family is. So that's pretty cool. Um, for someone who's like lost, she was like she kind of had a good idea of who she was and what she wanted. Not what she wanted, but like she knew like when she was shopping around and stuff that this wasn't really gonna do anything. But she was like, I'm gonna try anyway, just in case. So yeah, like Julia said, it's a good portrayal of what a Gen Z teenager is, or more so even what a girl is really. So yeah, I liked it. No complaints so far. I mean, if I had to complain, I guess maybe, I don't know, was it gross? Kind of, yeah, but it was in line with the book, so can't complain about that. That's it. That's all for me.
And to Manel's point, now I think about it too, I think it was just like two people who needed something to make them feel different about the lives that they were living. Like she wanted Mr. Grody so she could feel powerful and she could be this and she could be that. And Mr. Groggy probably wanted her because she's like a young, hot piece of ass, like, this teenager who's attractive, who's willing to, you know what I mean? Like she described him as a pudgy, ugly man with curly stomach hair. You think that man's not like, oh yeah, like you're not, it's not stroking his ego that this young like teenager too. So like they're both trying to fill these like weird voids that they have. And I think like, they happen to find each other. That's all. Yeah, because Mr. Groggy was like whatever. Oh, and like the scene that was gross period blood was like squirting out in the fucking
That was horrible.
That was bad.
closet. That was so gross. Anyways, that's all.
Okay. This is gonna be one of those books for me where I either rate it like fairly high or like very, very low. I personally hated this book. It was just too disgusting for me. Mostly her. I found myself disgusted with her and her behavior. Um, um, I could never like get over that. But I was always pretty conscious of the fact that I think it's written really well. I like how like concise it is and how I can never say this word well, like poignant. Like it's it's a hardcore, intense kind of like thrill ride book, even though it's just happening in like with like some like white trash kind of people like it, but it's like it's very very intense, and I like that, and I think it was well done, and I'm sure it probably deserves like I don't think even if I loved this subject matter I'd give this like a 5, but it deserves like a good like 4. I think it's like a good book, but yeah, I was just grossed out by her behavior and her thoughts towards everything. Like I can't like I just yeah, I kind of like hated it. She basically like sexually assaulted her teacher, and it does suck that he gave in, but like I was imagining like if I was 17 and I started rubbing my boner on like a full grown woman's dress or something, like what would we call that? Like would I be okay? Would I get arrested? I think I would get. That's rape, basically. She just crawled on the guy's crotch and started rubbing, and that's not like that's like not cool. Regardless of your age,
Yeah.
that's like not cool to do just to another person. Uh, and she just sort of like ruined his life and ruined his marriage and then walked away. That all sounds about right as well. Like it like these things make sense. It's just this it just grosses me out that people exist this way, I guess, because I think also the thing that just got to me the most is just like having been cheated on. I hate the idea of cheating, and this entire book was about like the act of cheating in an affair and all of those things, and that subject also just kind of grosses me out. So yeah, I kind of hated it. So it's either gonna be like a right in 1.5 and I give it a 1 or a 2, or I give it a 4 and then I write in the 1.5 because I don't know what I'm going to do. It's like it's one of those, but I felt very lowly about it. The best part about this book is that it was short, so that it would just sort of like it made me very uncomfortable pretty much this whole book. um I caught on to the to pretty well to the idea that like it was like a fairly accurate like mind portrayal, but it's interesting that it was even more accurate than I even realized. And I do appreciate that. I think that that's like it's not like those things that you guys appreciate are not why I hate this book. It was mostly like just the grossness of what she was actually doing to. I keep wanting to say Mr. Morley, whatever his name was, whatever his
Gorgy.
Corgi. Um,
Gorgy.
Gor. I yeah. I like. I think
Jesus Christ. Sorry, not Jesus Christ. Motherfucker.
it's a great combo of words. I'm I'm glad that those two things are synonyms for you. Even better. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing. I appreciate you even noticing. That's cool. It's cool. But that's funny. Uh, let me see. I think my other criticism of this book, and it's again, this is like a me thing, is this book was like pretty like preachy, but not preachy in like the stupid way that like a fantasy is, where all of a sudden they like insert some binary character and you feel like it's just trying. This book is one of those ones where it's just filled with ideas and opinions about our modern society, and it's like one of those, and that's kind of like a genre. Like that's like a type of writing. So it's not wrong that it's like that, but when books have those that amount of opinions, it's usually like not my cup of tea. Even if I like agreed with a lot of things that she would say, like that constant stream of it, I usually just don't tend to like those kind of books. I prefer more of a narrative than like the author's opinion kind of a thing. And this had a lot of that. But again, that I think all of that was like well done. That part's just kind of like not my cup of tea. So if anything, it's like a good on you for the writing of the book. But yeah, I didn't like it too much. Uh, I also one of my points is just that the bloody sex was disgusting. Uh, so I agree with that. Just very very well written. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I think I said what I think. It's about where I'm at.
I would read another book of hers though. If she comes out with another
Because
book,
this
I
is
would
her
read
only one, right? Or her only fiction.
Or,
one
yeah.
fiction.
I have two more points. One, I think from the get go, it was absolutely fucked up that Mr. Gorgie invited her to dinner at his home with his wife and kids because she was a writer. From that moment in time, I said absolutely not. Why the fuck, as a teenage girl, would I want to go to my male professor? I don't care. I thought that was so fucking weird. I hated that. I hated that. And number two, she never gave a fuck about the ramifications of what it was going to do to his wife and kid. Like she did not care. Oh, there one or two sentences about his fucking what that could do to him in his real life. Like that just didn't occur to her whatsoever.
Yeah.
Then she also kind of villainized the wife from the start, like she called her
Yeah,
outside. But she already kind of like in her head made up her mind of, oh, well, I'm going to do this to his family, but it doesn't matter because she's a terrible person anyway in her mind. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's how
Yeah.
they justify it. Like she's good to him, so I can make it better. I'm the better person here, something like that.
yeah, yeah. And like to Darren's point too, it 110% was rape. Like it was really. I remember reading that scene and being like, "This is really fucked up." You know what I mean? Like in her head, oh, he's hard. He's hard, so that means yes.
That's not what that means at all.
That's not okay.
That's not
You know,
what
she
that
literally
means at
like
all.
no. She just literally said, "Oh, he wants me. He's hard. I'm fucking going." Just like whoa, whoa, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty bad, pretty intense. Okay. Any other big opinions? Is that about it?
I would recommend this to. I would recommend this book to. I would recommend this book. I like it. I know, but and then, okay, I want to make first the reporting. I want to like clarify some things. I don't see myself in her in the weird rapey. Like I want
Condone,
to
blah blah blah. It's okay. I wasn't even thinking that while you were saying it. I know who you are.
like the doom scrolling and trying to fill this void that you feel with, like shopping
Yeah.
and oh yes, I'm gonna look cute and I'm gonna feel good about myself or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Disclaimer.
I kind of wish now that I could I guess I wish I could be inside of your guys' heads so I can understand that stuff even better. And then I kind of wish that like a 17-year-old could read this, although I don't think any 17-year-old girl ought to read this because that's just effed. But I kind of wish that that would happen, and I'd like to be in her head too. Because I would imagine that as much as it's affecting you guys, it's probably affecting someone 10 years younger than you guys even more than that. You know what I mean? If it's you know what I'm saying? So that's super interesting. I think I'm either too much of a guy or I'm too old to miss a lot, and I missed a lot of these points. I don't know which is the two. I have a feeling it's a little bit of both because I have a feeling like if like a guy that was 15 years younger than me read this, like a lot of those things would probably hit more too. So, but y'all, that's interesting and cool. I was like aware of it. There's honestly like a lot to like about this book. I just couldn't. The ickiness was too much. I was too uncomfortable, and it like never let up.
Me and you guys both found it gross and I did it. That
That
was me.
it says what it says.
Yeah,
we,
unfortunately.
we don't have to talk about that part or elaborate. Okay, pretty sure Manel's done, so we better get off. I'm almost finished on picking a book. I think I know which one, but I'll have one really soon.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Bye, you guys.
All right.